Okay, in today's video we're going over Zachary, how to counter him, because I know a lot of people are complaining, oh, there's no counters, blah blah blah. But in this video I'll be showing you different counters, and also for the retards in, the official RTS Discord saying, get rid of S classes, they don't deserve to be in a mythic war. If you do that, you're shooting yourself in the foot massively, and when you complain down the road, it's even more harder. You only have yourself to blame for bringing up these stupid suggestions, because at the moment there is no real mythic bleed recoverer. And if you were to get rid of S classes more just because of Tara, Mackenzie, and all that shit, you're shooting yourself in the foot. But that's my little rant about that over. Also, I will have a rant out about the meta going forward sometime down the road, because it is a big problem. But anyway, back to the video. So how do you counter Zachary? There's four main ways, in my opinion. So obviously you got bleeds with this mod, that's the obvious one. Everyone's going to be running that, it's fairly standard. Next is Mercer. Mercer can stun as his leader skill, but you don't have any damage there. I will be showing that later on in the video. It's an alright option, but the main thing about Mercer is his turn 1 active ability. Now I think this is probably the worst one of them all, just in my opinion. He does recover bleed from everyone turn 1. Now that is it, he just recovers bleed from everyone turn 1. He is solid, gets rid of the Zachary problem, but you will lose a Mercer. Next up we got Marge. Marge I think is a very very good choice. So first of all, she gives G2 shields to everyone on the team, meaning if you kill like a governor turn 1, the governor pops off his maim. More than likely your team's going to survive, which is pretty good. Also, she does give a bleed and infection resistance to herself and two others, meaning you do have to have a little bit of luck with bleed resist mods, but if your bleed resist mods are even half decent, it won't be a problem. So she's a very good one for having extra protection, and just having resistance for 2 turns. Now next one is Scotsman. Scotsman I think is the best one in my opinion. So first of all, if Scotsman dies, his weapon allows everyone to recover 100% of their HP. It recovers from bleed, burn, and I think it's maim, which is fantastic. Also he's retribution 2, meaning when he does die, everyone is gaining a lot of AP, which is absolutely fantastic. Also he does have an active turn 1, which I think recovers bleed, burn, and maim for 3 people, which is fantastic. So obviously I do think Scotsman personally is the best choice. Now a few people have been playing around with Carol. I know a lot of people in top factions are using her, but the thing is with Carol, she's a very loose cannon and you need to kill someone, so I won't be including that in this video. Since it's free to play, I'm more than likely struggling. So in this first video we got Marge, we got strong attacks, we got Negan obviously as a leader, we got Ivan for big boy damage against Sam, we got the Mirabelle for control and Guardian 2 shields, and then we got the Wayland for disarming and then a bit of control as well, because he is holding a stun sword. So the idea behind this team is obviously Marge's going to have to die, it's upsetting. But more than likely most Zacharys will be built offensively. So what you'll be doing first is you'll be going into the Zachary first, see if you can kill him. If you don't kill him, it's not a big deal, he's just going to be sitting there really. And then whenever you get the chance, you need to get Ivanova going to try and kill that Sam. Now obviously every team will be modded differently. This team I'm facing right now is defended heavily against bleed and burn, which most top teams will be modding against, because obviously it's an auto meta. It's pretty fucking disgusting. But yeah, the reason behind this team is Ivanova with 30% attack boost. She's going to hit fucking ridiculously hard. Obviously Mirabelle's there with the confused turn 2. And then, yeah, the rest of the damage dealers obviously can clean up. Now, I will put up the tunes I'm using and the mods and the weapons, but keep in mind this is a Scotsman in this one. The same team, just replaced with a Scotsman. I have got bleed and burn mods on my attacking tunes, so when inevitably my damage just doesn't go through, or they're stringing onto a little bit of HP, or Connor has a little bit of bonus HP and I just can't get past it, that bleed and burn will do it justice. Now obviously people will be running bleed and burn resist, but it doesn't really matter. Now I will not be speeding up this footage just because I don't really want to feel like I'm cheating you guys, so you will see the speed of the raids I'm doing here. Now these tunes are all completely free to play. No teams I use in this video will be paid to play. It will be completely free to play. Now granted, with later down the road I'll be using a princess. Obviously you gotta get a bit lucky, but with the event going on right now, shouldn't be too hard to grab one. So yeah, so it's pretty much all strong attacks. Mirabelle has a double attack weapon, because when she rushes she has a chance to hit 4 times. It's just a double attack weapon with 1535. Everyone on this team is running 1535 minus the Wayland. That will have a strong attack weapon. So in this one here, we're just using a Mercer. Same team, just a Mercer in there. So it's basically, the reason I'm swapping in every single counter is just to show you, if you don't have one of these counters, as long as you have one of the three, it's completely fine. You're not going to be really struggling, in my opinion. So yeah, as you can see, Ivanova is just the main damage dealer to get rid of Sam. Now obviously, if it's a really, really good Sam, they won't die from an Ivanova, but that's why you have the other tunes behind it, just so you can either control or yeah, it's an easy kill. So yeah, as you can see here, Negan is still fantastic, even with Sam taking away the focus. It's still not a big problem because Negan can do maim damage. He has infection. His kit is still very, very broken. And then yeah, also for this team here, if you haven't got a Mirabelle, which I don't know why you wouldn't, Cal can work well, especially considering he's got crosshairs. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend Jesus over Wayland because Wayland is better in every single essence. And then we will be moving the Ivanova around a bit because yeah. So in this one here, same team again pretty much. We got the Scotsman in the back. The only difference is we swapped in the Ivanova for the Princess. Now the Princess hits extremely fucking hard. It's not even funny. So I've been preaching this. Yeah, Rampage. See, just look how much damage that Rampage is doing. It's pretty fucking insane. Now I will be completely transparent. This is a very good outcome, like a very, very good outcome where Rampage was splashing like just mad. So don't expect every raid to go like this. Obviously, other teams will be modding against blue, yellow. It just depends. Obviously, the defense team has all meta weapons. Reduce critical hit damage, and all that shit. So yeah, same thing again. Just because I wanted to show you, it doesn't always go that smoothly. Because that was just a very, very good run. So obviously the Scotsman dies, and then Princess can go turn 2. Now obviously, look, the bite is hitting. Ideally I should have hit first with Mirabelle, just so I had a G2 shield to play or like to reduce one hit. But it is what it is. It's not a biggie. Now the reason for having Princess in this team is obviously she does extreme amounts of damage, and plus her active skill, her mythic ability has a chance to give 30% of her attack stat in bleed, which is incredibly effective versus these really tanky teams. And then obviously the rest of the team is just to support the damage dealer. So we'll just wait for this raid to be over. As you can see, this raid is taking a bit longer than expected, just on the pure basis is, it's a tanky team. Sometimes it's going to happen, you're going to get stuck, and there's not really anything you can do about it. What I will say is, when you are using the Ivanova build, I would recommend putting a defense versus screen, because that Connor can fuck up Ivanova very easily, and you do need the damage dealer to at least get rid of the Sam or the problematic tunes. So next team, we're just replacing the Princess with a Andrea. Now I don't think Andrea is exactly the best choice of tune. I'd rather prefer a Princess personally, but I'm just being a bit more a bit more open. Try this, try that. Now obviously people are gonna have to literally, they can't just copy the team. They're gonna have to practice with the team. They're gonna have to experiment with mods a bit, with weapons, because not everyone's gonna have the same weapons as me, or as good mods, or maybe they got better mods. You just gotta do a bit of testing. But obviously I'm not a big fan of the Andrea, cause, it's literally just a glass cannon. Once that hit is done, that's it. That's why I kind of prefer a Princess, because she can do more damage to more people, whereas Andrea is just limited to one person really. So same principle again. We're just going to swap it up. No Scotsman this time. We've got a Marge in the back. Obviously we always go for the Zachary, because more than likely the Zachary is going to be the weakest one, and if it's not, if it's a really tanky one, then the bleed's going to be fuck all. So yeah. So same principle again. We control the Sam. Now I will say every Sam's gonna be built different. Some will have confuse resist, some will have stun resist. Some will be bleed and burn. It's just completely random, and Some will even have taunt resist. So it's, you know, it's very hit or miss whether this team will work against certain teams. That's why if you want, you can put in a cow, because cow will do stun instead of confuse, because obviously confuse is a bit more meta at the moment, just because Mirabelle is way better than cow. But if you want to swap it up, there's an option for that. Also, you can put a Connor in. Connor isn't, fantastic on attack, but he's not bad. That taunt is really good. The only problem with Connor is you're more than likely building him defensively for defense, so you're basically bringing in a defense character on attack, which is, it's not the worst considering he's a berserker, but yeah. So here's a Mercer lead. Basically everyone's, this team hasn't got stun resist. It's completely modeling its bleed and burn, the meta shit. So in this video, we're literally just hitting onto people. Obviously we ain't got the bleed because of the Mercer turn 1. And then we're pretty much using Sandy and Princess to just nuke out the team, because we need as much damage as we can possibly get on the team, because obviously we haven't got an attack buff from the leader. Now, I'm not against using Mercer leads. It's not horrible, but the problem with that is you need a lot of damage behind it. You need a lot of damage behind it, because you can't just put, a Zachary with them, because if they resist bleed, you've got no attack. So I'm not a big fan of Mercer leads personally, but it does work, as you can see in this video. Sandy's still being great. She's got a splash gun, because obviously more damage. And then obviously we got the Princess down bottom with a rampage double attack. See, now we have got Uncle Sam stunned. I was very lucky. We can also keep him confused, because obviously he hasn't got a confuse list on this one. And then there we go, another win. Now we will do this one more time, just to show you, consistency value. Now I think I briefly mentioned it, but the reason I'm using this defense team to attack on is because most people are saying they're struggling with the bide from Morgan, they're struggling with Uncle Sam because they can't get past him. Then Connor's always a bit of a cunt, and then obviously people don't like Zachary on defense, so hence why I'm using this this defense team to attack onto. Yeah. So obviously this ain't going as great as before. We have lost the princess, but it's not a big problem, because as long as we got one damage dealer on the team, we should be fine. And then yeah, obviously it's not as fast, but you got to remember it's not about, because if you couldn't hit before, it's just better to be able to hit than not hit at all. So granted, it's not the fastest, but with a bit of practice, you can definitely get this down to 5 or 6 turns easy, consistently. And I don't think that's horrible, especially if you couldn't hit before. Now, granted, you are going to lose 1 toon every single time, guaranteed. You might lose 2, just depending on how things go. But that's not bad. Winning is always better than not winning at all. As you can see, we're literally just stuck on the Sam, and then we do get past him eventually. So here's the teams I recommend. Try them out. But your main counters are Mercer, Scotsman, Marge, all very easily accessible by the roadmap. If you haven't got them, slowly grind towards them. The reason for the team is you got the strong attack weapons to boost the attack, and then you got your damage dealers just to knock it through. Mirabelle's there for the confuse and Guardian 2, and then yeah. So I hope this is a bit more informative to some people. Copy the teams. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments down below. But these are your main counters. I've showed you how I attack this team. It was modded correctly. It did have proper weapons. I'm not bullshitting you guys. So yeah, I hope this does help you out. If you still having struggle with Zachary, join my Discord. Link in the description, and then I can further help you there, or you can get my Discord to help you out. But yeah, peace out, boys. Hope this helps, and yeah, have a good day.